Hi, Kevin here. It's pouring rain outside this evening, so I think we deserve something sweet to eat. I'm going to fix a buttery bundt cake. And by buttery, I mean I'm going to use 3 sticks or 1.5 cups of butter. And I have softened this to room temperature. And I have sprayed my 10-inch diameter bundt pan with baking spray. Baking spray contains flour. It's good stuff. All right, so let me grab my spatula and we can get started. All right, I will be using my KitchenAid mixer for this cake, and I have my paddle attachment over here, and this is the kind of attachment, let me take it off. This is the kind of attachment that has this rubber or silicone edge that actually scrapes the bowl. And you can buy this on Amazon. That's what I did. That way you don't have to constantly be scraping the bowl with your spatula. So in goes the softened butter. Get all of that out of here. Like this. And wipe off my fingers. And to the butter, I'm going to add, please clutch your pearls, 3 cups of sugar. So this is not a diet cake, nor is it a cake to bake when you're doing the keto diet. And then I'm going to cream the butter and sugar together for about 3 minutes. And I'm going to do that at medium speed, so I'll come back when this is creamed. All right, the butter and sugar are all creamed, and I hope you can see that this mixture is pale and fluffy. That's exactly what you want. Then I'm going to add 6 large eggs, and I'm going to add them all at once. Just beat those in. I like using this clear glass bowl so that you can actually see the mixing process. And I can see that even though I'm using the scraping paddle attachment, I am going to have to scrape down some of the butter that has adhered to the side of the bowl. Back to mixing. Okay, then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. And this is extract that I actually made myself. 1, 2. Okay, we're good and mixed here. I'm going to turn the machine off. And then I want to add about a tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. And there are a ton of seeds in this lemon, so I'm going to do this through a little sieve. So it's roughly 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And the lemon is just going to give this a little hint of lemoniness. It's not officially a lemon cake. It's just a very buttery bundt cake. Okay, going to mix that in. Yeah, that scraping paddle attachment is doing a bang-up job here. I really like it. All right, then I'm going to add 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, you want to sift the flour first and then measure it. So that's 3 cups. And then I have 3/4 of a cup of whole milk here, and I'm going to alternate the flour and milk additions. Hang on, I have to grab my spoon. So we will start with putting the machine just on the lowest speed. I'm going to add a spoonful of the flour. And then just a few little dribbles of milk. Once they're in there, you can boost the speed just one notch, just briefly. Then more flour and a little more milk. More flour, a little more milk, and I'm going to add the rest of the flour. Actually, I'm going to add the rest of the milk and then the rest of the flour. You really only want to beat this until the flour disappears into the batter. Okay. Let me clear the decks and I'll come right back. All right, we are back. I'm going to scrape off this paddle as best I can. Yeah, this is a very easy cake. Just spilled some of that batter, so return it to the bowl. Then detach the mixing bowl. Take off this paddle. If you were not watching me, I would probably lick that paddle attachment. Then I'm going to give this one final fold with the spatula. Looks and smells very good and very rich. All right, two out of here. Now my oven has preheated to 325 degrees and the oven rack is in the center position. Now, rather than try to scrape this batter into the Bundt pan with a spatula, I'm going to use a large spoon. You see, are we centered here? Yes. Yes, it's a very rich and actually very fragrant cake. And I will probably have one slice tonight, and then, well, two at the most, okay? And then I'm going to slice up the remaining cake and freeze it. Yeah, these Bundt cakes freeze very, very well. They also thaw very quickly. It's great if you have guests over to know that you already have dessert in the freezer. A really good homemade dessert in the freezer, I might add. Sorry, I'm working as fast as I can here. And you may have noticed that I did not add any baking powder or baking soda. And the reason for that is because the eggs act as the leavening agent. So as this bakes, the eggs will expand and this cake will puff up. Then go around, just smooth the top with a spatula. And then I want to show you a little trick that doesn't always work. Sometimes the cake can puff up higher around this little central tube. So what you want to do is make a ditch around that tube so that the batter on the outside area is higher than the area close to the tube. Hold on. That's a very unimportant text coming through. Let me turn the phone off. Right, that was actually my sister Carrie texting me. Carrie and her boyfriend Mike, I think, cooked every single recipe in the cookbook I published back in 2017. That was really nice of them. All right, so here is the cake. This is going into the 325 degree oven. I'm just cleaning up some of my spills over here. Yeah, this is going into the 325 degree oven until a toothpick inserted between the tube and the edge of the pan comes out clean. And that's going to take probably 1 hour and 10 minutes or so. So we'll come back when this cake is done. All right, the cake is out of the oven and it did bake for exactly 1 hour and 15 minutes. I wanted you to see the top of this cake. Notice how level it is. That's because I pushed that batter towards the outside of the pan. In other words, I made that little ditch around the central tube. Anyway, I'm going to let this cool on the wire rack for about 15 minutes and then we can unmold it and have a taste. All right, the cake has cooled for about 10 minutes and that's probably not long enough, but I'm going to invert it anyway. And I wanted to show you one other thing. Besides the toothpick test, if you see that the sides of the cake have pulled away from the pan, like over here, then you'll know the cake is done. All right, let's unmold this bad boy. Just put a plate over the Bundt pan and then invert. Voila! Oh, it is gorgeous. And it smells very buttery and there's just that little hint of lemon. In fact, my whole kitchen smells like a French bakery. All right, gotta let this cool for just a little bit. I should let it cool to room temperature, but I really want to try a slice of this cake. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. All right, only 30 seconds have passed, but this cake smells so good and I am hungry. I really want to try a slice, so here we go. You, of course, will have far greater willpower than me, and you will wait until the cake has completely cooled before slicing into it. Oh, look at this. Here it is. Absolutely gorgeous. And now for a taste. By the way, I'm not going to pour any icing over this cake because, well, it already contains 3 cups of sugar and 1.5 cups of butter, and I don't think we need to add any more butter or sugar. Oh, this is so moist. Oh man. This is heavenly. Another bite. Yum. Well, besides being buttery, this cake is also very eggy, and that's just what I like. And remember, it's the eggs that make the cake puff up in the oven. So I hope you will give this butter bundt cake a try someday. I will post the list of ingredients in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, I'm back. I wanted to tell you that this cake reminds me of one that my mother used to make when I was a kid. And what we would do is cut slices of the cake and fry them in butter in a skillet for breakfast. And then we would top them with either maple syrup or powdered sugar, or both maple syrup and powdered sugar. Okay, I better go. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.